So the match finishes Forest 2, Barchester United 2. Welcome to the player ratings. Hi guys, hope you're doing well and welcome to the player ratings after yet more corruption happens against Forest, allegedly of course, and it finishes Forest 2, Barchester United 2. Please, as always, make sure you've hit the like button. Make sure you subscribed as well. If you are new, check out the sponsors of the video, OK Jerseys. Get your football tops for £15. Use code FFTV for 8% off. Scan the QR code, you know the drill. Okay, I am actually annoyed, and I'm not annoyed with our performance. I thought in general Forest were actually decent and deserving of that win. The problem yet again, and we have to start with it, is the alleged corruption on these refereeing decisions. Now, let me start by saying this before I get all the crybaby Barchester United fans in here from London crying about the stop complaining. Forest should have defended the corner better. The corner was poorly and craply defended. There's no two ways about that. But it's not a corner. The linesman doesn't give it. The ref overrides it and gives it as a corner. This just happened last week against Bournemouth. We're literally in the next game. Now, it's a whole other discussion that we're going to have about defending from set pieces because it's still a goddamn joke. But it can't keep happening. It can't keep happening. I'm not even convinced their second goal came off Anderson, I think it was, for that corner. So that's annoyed me off the bat. Let's get it straight. It's not a corner. We should have defended better against the corner. Yes, decisions don't go your way, but the marking was so poor. Also, just have a player on the line. If Savona stays on that line, then he just clears it off the line. Now, Forest played really well for about 15-20 minutes in the opening half. Handball for penalty as well. Yeah, well, you're not going to get that against Man U. I don't know why people are surprised by this anymore. I've seen it my whole lifetime watching football. They get the BS decisions game in, game out. Now, Forest played really well in the first 15 minutes. Anderson was sublime for those first 15 minutes with Douglas Luiz on there. Once Douglas Luiz came off, the balance went a little. I didn't like the gap between the defensive line and the midfield too. Cunha found a couple of pockets of spaces. He was crap anyway throughout the game, but there was spaces there. The final balls through from United into our backline were poor as well. Couple went through, but they went straight through to Sels. Now, Forest then obviously crapped the bed with the corner. You go into halftime and you think, right, what is he going to do? Is he going to make some changes? And Ndoye was looking rubbish again. Forest, you probably felt were on a bit of a downer. But we come out so strong in that second half and two quick fire goals. Fantastic cross in from Yates. Lovely finessed header from Gibbs-White, especially after what he said midweek. Fantastic header. And then Forest don't sit back. Usually what Forest do is, okay, we're level. Let's just soak up the pressure a little, get ourselves back in. Bang, straight into it again. Another good cross into the box, headed down by Jesus. And Savona creeps in there, taps it in beautifully. And then Forest calm themselves down. And then for the next 15-20 minutes, yes, we're sitting deeper, but United are not providing any real threat. And we had chances to win, to go 3-1 up. There was chances. And you just felt one of them had to go in. Jesus at the back post. It looked like it went in. Hutchinson with a shot that just flashes wide of the post. Hutchinson with another shot that their best defender, Ndoye, blocks for them. Like, it's so frustrating. And then they get another corner, which is half cleared away by Murillo. Comes to Ahmed on the edge of the box. Obviously, he decides to hit a worldie. I still think maybe Sels could have saved that. And we do need to talk about Sels, and we'll talk about him in just a second on the player ratings. But I'm just so frustrated that nothing is going our way. Nothing is going our way. It's just so frustrating. The 3 points were there to be had. The 3 points were there to be had. That's my big frustration on it. And if it wasn't for incompetence refereeing, Forest would have got it done. Big up to RNM Productions with the membership. Let's get into the player ratings. Get your votes in as well. It's pinned somewhere in the chat, or I'll get one of the mods to put it in the chat for you. And let's jump into these player ratings, because we do have to start with Sels, guys. And please do hit the like button. Make sure you're subscribed as well. There's already 750 of you in here. Now, my biggest issue with Sels right now is a couple of things. Firstly, if Sels comes off his line for either of those corners and commands his 6-yard box, I don't even think the ball ends up at Casemiro's head, for example. Sels before, and there was a shot from Bruno Fernandes that hits the post where Sels is basically diving in slow motion. I do not know what's happened to Sels. There was another one where he punched it very weak. Very weak. I don't know if it was a build-up. Was that their second goal or not? I can't quite remember off the top of my head. But Sels just looks so out of form and so lacking in confidence. Now, at the same time, he produced a decent save in the first half against Ahmed, I think it was. But that was comfortable. But I just don't know what's happened to him. Because within that game, he's making saves, but he's also making mistakes. We need Sels to come off his line for those corners, command the 6-yard box, and basically clear house if he needs to. Punch the ball. Stop slicing it with your punches. Get distance on the ball. And then clear your lines, man. Get out of that 6-yard box. I don't know with Sels, man. Like, is it time now to make a change? I know we discussed it last week. I wasn't quite ready to do it. But, yeah, I think, James, you summed it up. He's a shot stopper, but he can't catch. I have to, for this game, I'm probably giving him a 4 out of 10. For me, a 4 out of 10 for Sels. See what you guys did. 4.9 for Sels. Maybe I'm being a bit harsh. I don't know. He just doesn't command that box, guys. He doesn't command that box. Good shot stopper. Exactly what James said. Good shot stopper, but the rest of the game isn't quite there. Isn't quite there. Anyway, let's move on. Let's go to Savona. I was heavily impressed with Savona today. Both defensively and attackingly, he was exceptional. Absolutely exceptional. Yes, he could have controlled the ball a bit better to not bobble it to be even controversial of making it a corner. But his goal was fantastic. His overlapping down that right-hand side was brilliant. Ndoye looked absolutely crap up against him, as did Cunha, to be honest, as did Cunha. I thought defensively and offensively, he was very good. The only thing I'd say about Savona, I don't think he's quick enough. There was one chance in the first half where it broke to him from a delicious ball from Elliot Anderson down the line. And if he had a bit more pace, he could have got behind their line and squared it across to Igor Jesus, I think was in the middle there. But, you know, your pace is what God's blessed you with. I actually thought he was right up there today. I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. Very good performance from him. Wow, you guys have pretty much matched me. 7.97. Get your votes in. It's a live count, so if you do it now, it just will automatically update, and we'll see what you guys have voted. But yeah, very pleased with Savona today. Milenkovic, for me, I thought in general was very commanding in open play. I'll be honest with you guys. If I said to you now Tesco was playing, could you tell me anything Tesco did up against Milenkovic? I thought between Milenkovic and Murillo in open play, they had it done. Now from set pieces, they've got to be part of the problem of not clearing these corners, man. Like what's going on there? So open play, I thought he was excellent, but it's like 7.5 for me, something like that. That's what I'll go with him on. See what you guys did. A little lower from you guys, 6.9. I think you guys are saying 6 in the chat. I think that's a bit harsh. Like, what did he do wrong outside of the corners? But we're crap from corners as a team, as a collective. It's now a thing again. It's now a thing again. That's the problem. When are the highlights coming out? Well, all the goals are available to the members, !member, if you want to see them. So much more confidence in our team after that performance, says Phil. I would have had more confidence if we held out, bro, and just got the win. Let's move on and let's talk about Murillo. Murillo was really good today. Really good. I thought he was bossy, aggressive, strong, no nonsense. I liked Murillo's performance today. Ran the ball out of play when it needed to. Used his pace when he needed to. I thought Murillo was slightly better than Milenkovic, if I'm being honest with you. I thought Murillo was decent today. We know he's not the best in the air anyway. Is what it is. It's like I hold Milenkovic in a higher regard when it comes to headering than I do Murillo. But Murillo was good in general. Where's my mom calling? I'm gonna give him like 7.5 or an 8. I think I'll just go 8 because I haven't got half numbers. 8, but needs to jump when defending corners, but he's not that good in the air, bro. Yeah, he does get caught under the ball, but we already know that. It's like saying to me, it's like saying, I don't know, I expect Taiwo to be able to pass the ball with his foot. We know he can't do it, but that doesn't mean he hasn't got other good traits about him. So I'll give him an 8. I thought he was good today. You guys went 7.8 for Murillo. And then Nico Williams is just Nico Williams. Exactly. You know what, Nico, I'm not going to even say anything on Nico Williams because go and watch every single previous player ratings and everything that I've said on Williams stands today for Williams. Williams was brilliant today. Just did his job, did it well, supported going forward, supported going backwards. I've got no complaints about Nico Williams. So I'll give him an 8 out of 10 as well. I don't think Nico's had lower than a 7 this season that I can think of off the top of my head. You guys have gone 7.8 for him. So about the same. Okay, into the midfield. Now, is it worth doing Douglas Luiz? I thought Douglas Luiz looked good for the 10 minutes he was on. Can't judge too much. He freed up Anderson. Anderson was looking sublime while Douglas Luiz was on. I'll just give Douglas Luiz a 6 because he didn't have enough game time. You guys have gone 5.3 on him. We'll ignore that one because of obviously the injury. Anderson, on the other hand, controlled for me the first 20 minutes of that game. Everything was running through him. What I'll say on Anderson is just that final ball in that first 20 minutes where Forest were in control. It was just too much on the ball sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like the final pass wasn't perfect. But the midfield control, and then when Douglas Luiz went on for about 15 minutes while him and Yates were getting used to each other, they were too high up or the defensive line was too far back, whichever way you want to look at it. But again, in that second half, he just stepped in, he controlled it. His passing was good in the second half. I felt comfortable every time he was on the ball, strong on the ball still. Yeah, James, if Anderson could shoot, I mean, it'd be the best player in the world, wouldn't he? So I think everything barring his final balls in the first half was spot on. I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. I thought he was very good today. Very good. You guys have gone 7.5 on Elliot Anderson. Guys, there's 800 in here. What are we saying on these likes, guys? What are we saying on these likes? Like, what's going on here? 144 likes. Please do hit the like button if you haven't already. If you're new here, please don't forget to subscribe as well. Okay, so let's do Yates in now because Yates came in early. I actually thought Yates was fantastic today. I thought 5 minutes while he settled into the game, and then I thought he was really good. His cross to Gibbs White was absolutely sensational. In general, I thought his passing was good. I don't think he put a foot wrong, to be honest. There's the odd foul that you expect with Yates, but I actually thought he slotted in quite nicely. And that was probably his best performance this season for me. Got no complaints whatsoever. Forward passes as well. In general, he just, after about 5 minutes, he looked like he'd started the game and was up to the match speed and everything else. You can fault him a bit for their first goal because I don't know if he was being held down, but he didn't challenge against Casemiro. So maybe knock off a point for there. So I'll give you a solid 7 out of 10 for today's performance. You guys have gone 6.4. 6.4. Trent saying you lot are talking like we'd won. I ain't talking like we'd won, bro. I ain't talking like we'd won. We would have won if it was a different ref. Wolfie saying Yates was fantastic. Come on, Wolfie. It was okay today, not fantastic. I thought he was very good, bro. Like, you can disagree. I've got no problems if you want to disagree or not. Oh, shit. Okay, let's move on to Gibbs White. I thought in phases, Gibbs White was very good. I thought his work rates were really good today. And I thought his header was absolutely fantastic. My jaw dropped to the floor. Dropped to the floor with the header. In general, there was still some stray passes in that first half. I still feel we don't need to play with a 10. We should be playing with 3 midfielders. But you know what? A better game for Gibbs White. He needed it after the BS he's done midweek, and he got the goal. So in general, very pleased overall. I won't say very pleased, but good performance from Gibbs White. I'll give him a 7 out of 10, and it was an absolutely beautiful header as well. Let's see what you guys did. You gave him a 6.7 out of 10, which is, I guess, not a million miles off what I did. Let's move on to Dan and Ndoye. I'm sorry, and I hate saying this about our players, but he's rubbish. He's rubbish. Where is he? Can't even find him. There you go. I don't understand how he stayed on the pitch. To be honest, I don't think he was offering too much. His crosses are so bad. He doesn't look quick. He linked up okay with Savona. That's about all I can give him, man. Like, he got in the way for Hutchinson shot as well towards the end. Was it offside United's second goal? But it was given. I need to see it back, bro. I need to see it back. I'm not gonna go in too hard on him because I've already made my feelings clear on him. I actually blame Sean Dyche for not taking him up. I think he should have been taken off instead of Callum Hudson-Odoi. He looked more of a threat from the other side, and I still think those substitutions are too late, but we'll come on to that in a second. I'm just not impressed with him, and I think the problem is, I was about to say we need to see Hutchinson on Thursday. Well, guess what? He's not registered in the squad. So we need to see Bakwa. Well, guess what? He's injured. So who do we play there? Maybe McAtee. I think McAtee's just disappeared from this squad. Yes, he played crap in the games he's played, but he still is a good player. But I'd love to be proven wrong by Ndoye. I'd love to be. But my God, man, he was crap. As an Everton fan, I'm livid that our goal last week doesn't count, but United today does. Bro, this is Varchester United for you. This is Varchester United for you. How was the game corrupt? Typical of a United fan. Typical. Anyway, I'm going to give him a 4 out of 10. I think he's crap. You guys have gone a 4.8 for him. On the other side, Callum Hudson-Odoi, I thought had spells of what's the word I'm looking for? Of decency, of goodness. Wolfie, he headed it into the offside position. I can't remember. Phil saying 4 is harsh. This is the point of this channel, bro. You all get to say your say. You can gloss it over as much as you want. We're in a relegation battle and are in deep shite. This Leeds game next week is freaking monumental. Look, Hudson-Odoi, in the moments where he looked good, he was like an 8 out of 10. In the moments he wasn't looking good, it's like a 5 out of 10, right? But he was the better winger. He was the better winger. My issue is he only went outside once on, I think it was Ahmed. Every other time he was too predictable and cut inside. And the shots are just not going into the corners that he's doing. He could have scored with that one that just went wide of the post. There was decency within his performance, if that makes sense. He was head and shoulders ahead of Ndoye, but not fantastic. I need to see him score a goal or take the man on outside. He's good enough, and he beat the man when he went outside him. Yeah, that was the time he went outside for. Yeah, you're right, and crossed it in for Jesus. He took the man on, put a good cross in towards the back post. He just needs to spice it up a bit more. It's too predictable that he's cutting in. So I'll give him a 7 out of 10. I thought in general, not too bad. Not too bad. You guys have gone a 6.6. Okay, let's move on to Jesus. I like Jesus's performance today. I have to say, held up the ball well, got an assist for Savona's goal, nearly had a goal himself at the far post. I feel when he came off and Taiwo came on, we lost a little something, you know what I'm saying? Like, it just didn't, although it wasn't his best game, I just felt he was causing questions for the United defense. So he was good. The assist was good. Not his best game, but you can tell he causes problems to centre backs. I'll give him like a 6.5 for today's performance. I want him to score in the Premier League. I think once he gets the goal in the Premier League, he's going to be absolutely fantastic. And let's see what you guys did. Jeff saying, apart from Nico and Anderson, we have no standout players, no one that can change a game. Yeah, man, but we got to deal with what we've got. We might have one in McAtee who's just not getting a game, but you guys have gone 6.4 roughly, so very close to what I said. Okay, so substitution-wise, we did Ryan Yates already. Again, let me just bring up the subs. While I'm doing that, if you haven't already, please make sure you've hit the like button and make sure you've subscribed if you are new. So Taiwo came on in the 77th minute. That to me was just too late. Now, Taiwo did a couple of good things and then did some horrific things as well. But you're not surprised by Taiwo's performance too much. I thought he was strong, but man, he won. This like summarized Taiwo for me. He won the ball with his strength. And then he played it out into the channel, and there wasn't a Forest player within 20 yards of where he was aiming. But again, his physicality causes a problem. But my point here is when Taiwo comes on, I don't feel like he's going to score a goal. That's my issue here. I don't feel like any of the substitutions, and I'll include Yates. Oh, no, I won't include Yates because that was an injury substitution. But did any of you feel when Taiwo came on, right, this is going to switch the game up. This is going to create us a chance. This is, going to give us the momentum. I didn't feel that. And then you had Sangare coming on in the 90th minute, which was just basically a time-wasting sub, right? So I'll give Taiwo a 5 out of 10. But it's what I expected from him. Wolfie, the cold weather has hot to Jesus and other foreign players. And let's see what you guys did. You guys went about 5.5 on him, 5.47. And then finally, Sangare was on before we go on to Daesh. I don't think he had enough time on the pitch to really impact anything. I think the first thing that happened is he got done quite early and created and allowed Manchester United to create an overload scenario on the left-hand side. Outside of that, he only had a couple of minutes to be involved. So I'll just go 5 out of 10 for him. You guys have gone about the same with a 5.2. Right, on to the manager. What's he doing down there? Get your ass up, mate. Get your ass up. There you go. On to the manager. Surprised at the team selection, if I'm being honest with you. I would have thought going to midfield 3 would have helped us. Surprised that we're still leaking from corner goals, because all you lot, they've asked me to apologize to Daesh, told me that he fixes corners and set pieces and all that. We've still got the same issues we had under Ange and the same issues we had towards the back end of last season. Those issues have not been resolved. I thought in general Forest played very well and he set us up right. My 2 gripes are the substitution timings. So Taiwo came on in the 77th minute. And then what minute did Man U score? 81st. Like, that has no real bearing on it, but I just think I would have done the substitutions the other way round. So I would have brought on Sangare just to shore up that midfield, turn it into a 3, and taken off Ndoye. And then you could have gone like a 4-3-2-1. So you could have gone the three in the middle, Yates, Sangare, and Anderson, narrowed up a bit Hudson, Ndoye, and Gibbs White, and then had Jesus in front. And that would have just nicely blocked out the middle of the pitch. So I almost think the substitutions were the wrong way around. Then used Taiwo to do the delay tactics towards the end. So apparently the liner did put his flag up. I don't know. I don't care. So look, it was a good point. We should have held out. We should have held out to win 2-1. But overall, a point is something we can build on. So I'm gonna give him a 7 out of 10 for that. Let's see what you guys did. You guys went 6.6. 6.6. About the same then. The set piece tactics are way off setup for failure on second phase, says Fly. Still no rotation, says Paul. Still don't like the starting 11. I want better subs more quickly, says MRD. I hear you. Look, so that was the game. I'm just annoyed because I feel we did enough to win that game. I don't think Man U did anything. I thought Cunha was crap, Tesco was crap. Nico Williams held Mbeumo in his pocket. I thought Bruno was a ghost. Casemiro was probably one of their better players. Ndoye was crap. And a lot of that has to be credited to Forest for kind of controlling that game. But it's just the silly mistakes that are just pissing me off. They really are. It's like, get it sorted, man. Get it sorted. But yeah, so that's your player ratings. We'll be back tomorrow with Grumpy Old Reds. I'm gonna send you over. Let's see who's live. I'm gonna send you. Where'd you guys want to go? Send you over to Sava. Chelsea are taking on Spurs right now, so go troll Sava up. Just say FFTV raid or corruption or something like that. I'm going to go grab some food, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you've hit the like button. Make sure you've subscribed as well. If you're new here, it finished Forest 2, Barchester United 2, and we'll see you tomorrow. Come on, you Reds.